everybody. We're here today at Shenandoah National Park. We're going to be on a camping trip, and one of the things that we're going to do while we're here is put together a video of the Big Meadows Campground to share with you, so that if you are planning on making a trip or would like to make a trip to this area, that you would have some information about this particular campground. It's one of our favorites here. And we're going to share with you some of the features of the campground. So we hope you'll join us. Thanks for watching. We are at the Big Meadows Campground, and we are at where you check in. And I just checked in for our site today. Maybe a little bit chaotic. She told me that there is a camper stuck across the road, which is causing some backlog in traffic getting in and out of the campground. But here we go. So we are approaching loops A, B, and C. There are A, B, C, and D loops. And this campground has walk-in sites as well as just pull-in sites. We have a walk-in site for ourselves for tonight, and we're going to be tent camping. And one of the nice things about this campground too is all of the sites have a bear box, so that makes it nice and convenient for storing your food. They all have fire pits and picnic tables. But you can see these are some of the sites that you can park and then walk up into over here to the right. And then there are bathrooms, I'm sorry, scattered throughout the campground. They don't have showers, but they are bathrooms, so you do have accessibility to public restrooms. The showers, as I mentioned before, are at the front of the campground. And like I said, there is a parking lot there. Again, we are approaching tent sites 8 through 17 on this particular loop. And you can see, you get out and you walk your tent and all of your belongings back into your site. And some of these go way back in. And then most of the areas have receptacle for trash, for recyclables and so forth, so you also are close to those as well while you're out here. Okay, so as you can see, the inside loop here has a lot of the pull-in sites that you can park your camper, or if you're just tent camping, you can do that as well. But that's the center, the inner loop of this particular loop that we're on. Most of the outer loop has what they call these walk-in sites. So also, if you look back in the woods there, you can see water fountains, and then there are potable water areas throughout the campground as well, where you can fill up with water and take it back to your site. As you can see way back in the woods, those are the walk-in sites. Our site is going to be in this particular area, and we are way out at the end, towards the edge of the forest, which we love it out there. You're kind of out there by yourself and you have a lot of privacy, but you do have to walk all your stuff back there, so not a big deal. And again, you can see there are receptacles for your trash, conveniently located. Okay, so these are some of the pull-in sites for RVs or campers, or you can tent camp in these as well. And something I need to mention, there is no electricity or water in this campground. Everything you have to bring in yourself. There is potable water sources, but there is no water, sewer, or electric. You do have a dump station, but as you can see, there are a lot of paved RV sites. And then of course back in there, those are the walk-in tent sites. So we're going to take you over here and show you the public restrooms for this particular campground. And again, in front of you see the trash bins, which are scattered throughout the campground. So it makes it real easy for you to take care of your trash and everything. But in here, here's one of the spigots, water spigots for this particular area. So you do have access to water. There is a little water fountain over here. And this is one one of the public restrooms in this section of the park, in this area of the campground. I mean, there's a women and a men, and then there's a utility sink for your cleaning needs. But this is the public restroom, and it's not terrible. Looks like there's 3 potties in here for women. And the water fountain does have a spigot on it. So you have a water source there and right there. So we're going to get out and take you for a little walk. Some of the walk-in sites that are available at this campground. As you can see, they kind of stretch way back in. And like I said, you do have to carry your camping gear back with you, but you get a lot of privacy back here. You can see they stretch way out there, and their bear boxes are out there as well, so that you can keep your food and your area safe from bears and other critters that might want to investigate. So this is our campsite. And like I said, these are way back in the woods, and this is what we get to wake up to. Beautiful, peaceful morning. We've already seen some deer out frolicking and playing. Some crows. Hear the owls. Okay, now there are some handicap accessible walk-in sites. So I think that's pretty cool that they do that here. That way, if you are disabled or somewhat things are a little less easy for you than others, there are some paved pathways that take you back a little further into the woods that you can camp. And you see this little path is paved over here to the left. So there's lots of these little paved areas too that are accessible, make it easier to get around. And as you can see, and this is site 53 in the campground, and you're sitting right up on a ridge here. You have a picnic table, fire pit. You have a concrete pad here so that you can easily get around if you're on a walker or you're in a wheelchair. And then you have your bear box. Then you have a spot back here for a tent. Looks like you could probably camp back in the woods here a little bit too if you really wanted to. And then you have this really nice view. Look at this view. There's the mountains behind you up there on this ridge. So this is a super nice little site. So we are walking out of the handicap site, and as you can see, it is paved all the way up to the restroom. So you have accessibility easily up to the public restroom. And again, like I said, there is a handicap stall in there. So they have made this nice and accessible for people with disabilities. But again, there are a lot of different sites around here that would probably work out to accommodate disabilities, or if you're a little slower than other people or just have a little bit of trouble getting around. As you can see, these are right across from the bathhouse. Okay, so we are on loop G, H, and I believe I.
Go back a little bit E.
Yeah. These are all inside the campground, these loop areas. One of the coolest loops in the campground is called Loop E. And the reason that it's so popular is because it sits right on the edge of the mountain here. And you are looking at it in front of you. People like this area right here that they can park right on the edge, and they have that beautiful view across over the mountains and down in the valley below. So this is one of the sites on Loop E. Like I said, it's right on the edge of the mountain here. And you see you've got a bear box, picnic table, a fire pit, and you're right here on the edge of the mountain. And you can see they run all the way across the edge of the mountain here. You have this spectacular view down here of the mountains and of the valley below. And on top of it all, this is the AT that runs back behind the campground here. So you're kind of sitting right on the AT here, which is pretty cool. You can see this goes way down in the valley, down below. You can see these are the ones on Loop E. You'll see a lot of people do YouTube videos on this particular loop. It's typically very busy in this campground, but if you look across the mountains over there, spectacular. So some of these sites through here in the center of these loops are pull-through sites. So if you have a long camper or you prefer doing a pull-through site, you can use these. Anyhow, these are the inner loops. I think G, H, and I of this part of the campground. You can see lots of sites with bear boxes, picnic tables, and fire pits. So there are a lot of sites in this campground. And there is a bathhouse up here. I believe it's just a bathroom for this part of the campground. These loops through here. Again, the Big Meadows Campground is about center of the Skyline Drive, in the center of Shenandoah National Park. So you're kind of up on a plateau, up on the ridges throughout the campground. Now the AT does run through and around this campground. It will take you over to Lewis Falls, and there's a loop trail that you can do. You can see a fall and then hike back around using the Appalachian Trail, and it'll bring you back over to the campground. And again, there are, this is another one of the handicapped accessible sites. And we've noticed that with these sites that the fire rings are typically a bit higher, so they're a little bit more accessible for people with disabilities, people who might be in wheelchairs. So this is one restroom, and then not too far away, as you can see in the distance, there's another one. So they do have them scattered throughout the campground, so you don't have to walk too far to use the restroom. So we are at the showers. This campground provides coin-operated showers, and they are at the front of the campground. They are not inside of the campground, but at the very front. And as you can see, there are several showers, and there's one that looks like maybe handicapped. They smell nice and clean, and I'm sure that during COVID, they appear to be doing a really good job of keeping them clean. You can even smell the bleach from here. Just wanted to show these to you. And then across the way over here is a little store. You can pick up a few things. And then you also buy your wood here in this area. There are some change machines in case you don't have change for the showers. But this little area is across the way from the major campground. I wanted to show it to you. But the showers, again, like I said, are nice and clean. I also wanted to mention that while you're up at the showers, there is a parking area. So if you want to drive up from your campsite and park your car and walk over here to the showers, there is a parking lot that sits right in front of this area, as you can see. I'm panning around so you can see that the building is right there. so it makes it easy. Okay, and we just drove out of the campground, and to the right is the lodge. There's a camp store to the left, and that also takes you to the Skyline Drive. It's a really nice camp store, so kind of a visitor center area as well. As you can see up on the ridge there, lots of little cabins, lots of big cabins. This is where the lodge is. Okay, so we are at the top here, and this is the Big Meadows Lodge that I was talking about that has the restaurant. There are some cabins here available to rent. And then there's the entrance to the lodge. And there is dining inside the lodge. And it looks to be rather busy today. Also a little gift shop. Again, here's some of the cabins up in this area if you're interested in staying in any of the cabins. They have them scattered all around up here, all along the ridge and the top of the mountain here. So thanks everybody for joining us today as we shared our camping experience with you here at Big Meadows Campground in Shenandoah National Park. This is a really nice campground, and like I said, these walk-in sites are fantastic if you like to tent camp and you like some privacy. You get a lot of privacy back in these. But anyhow, we hope that you enjoyed the campground tour, and we hope you enjoyed wandering out yonder with us. We'll see you later.